There's a place that most of the world doesn't see, a place so isolated, so hidden, that it feels like a secret locked away. It's a place where justice is ignored and the truth is buried behind thick walls and heavy gates. This place is Guantanamo Bay, a prison so notorious it's often called hell on earth. Located in a remote corner of Cuba, Guantanamo Bay spans over 118 square kilometers, surrounded by water and swampland, making it nearly impossible to escape. But it's not the land that's important, it's what's inside. This prison holds some of the most dangerous people in the world, captured in the War on Terror. But why here? Why has this place become so crucial? Back in 1903, the US and Cuba made an agreement allowing the US to build a military base here. An agreement that's still in place today, even though Cuba has never fully accepted it. But what really happens behind those fences? What's hidden from the rest of the world? Why has Guantanamo stayed open for so long? What secrets are locked away inside that we've never been allowed to see? Stay with us as we explore the dark truths of Guantanamo Bay, uncovering stories that the world hasn't been told. If you want to know more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. For nearly 2 decades, Guantanamo Bay has stood as one of the most controversial and infamous prisons in the world. What started as a strategic military base has evolved into a symbol of secrecy, violation of human rights, and an ongoing political battle. Inside the walls of Guantanamo, escape is not just difficult, it's nearly impossible. The facility is designed not only to contain, but to isolate. Tall concrete walls, razor wire fences, and thick steel doors stand as stark reminders that once you enter, you're trapped. In these cold, unforgiving walls, thousands of prisoners from over 40 countries have been detained without trial, accused of terrorism with no opportunity to defend themselves. These men have lived in isolation for years, some for decades, with little to no hope of release. The majority of them have not faced any formal charges, and their legal rights are often ignored. Their crime? Being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or sometimes, just being caught in the political crossfire. The situation inside Guantanamo has often been described as lawless, where prisoners are held indefinitely without ever seeing a courtroom. They are denied the basic human right of a fair trial, and many are subjected to unlawful detainment for years, even without being charged with a crime. But what does that mean for the prisoners? Without any trial, without the chance to defend themselves, how are they supposed to prove their innocence? And what about those who are innocent but caught in the web of suspicion? The story of Xiaomi Hachi, a Sudanese journalist who was detained in 2001, is one of the many tragic tales that have come out of Guantanamo. And Hachi was suspected of terrorism, but his detention came with no evidence, no charges, and certainly no trial. He spent years being held in isolation, with little access to legal counsel or medical care. His case is a clear example of how Guantanamo has become a place where innocent people can be trapped and forgotten. "They never told me why I was there," Hachi recalled. "I wasn't given a chance to speak. The whole time I was just another name on a list." Among the darkest secrets of Guantanamo are the torture methods used to extract information from detainees. Waterboarding, sleep deprivation, stress positions, and beatings have all been used as part of the so-called enhanced interrogation techniques approved by the US government. These methods are designed not to obtain the truth, but to break the spirits of the prisoners, to make them confess, to make them crack under pressure. The world watched in horror as the US government admitted to using these techniques. Yet the justification was always that these actions were necessary to protect national security. But at what cost? In one of the most well-known cases, Xiaomi Hachi revealed that he was subjected to waterboarding, an act where water is poured over a person's face to simulate drowning, and sleep deprivation for days at a time. These tactics not only broke his body, but also his spirit. "I was tortured to the edge of my sanity," he said, recounting the pain of being deprived of sleep for weeks, the psychological toll weighing on him far more than the physical injuries. And yet Guantanamo continues to operate under the belief that such acts are somehow justifiable. Even in the face of international condemnation, These actions are defended as necessary for national security. But are they? Or are they simply a tool for control, for submission? Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of Guantanamo is its treatment of the young. Minors, some as young as 14 or 15 years old, have been detained at Guantanamo, often alongside adult detainees. These young men, many of whom were caught in the crossfire of war, have faced the same brutal treatment as their adult counterparts. Children are often viewed through the lens of innocence, yet these minors are subjected to the same inhumane conditions and torturous practices. For many, their childhoods have been stolen by the prison system, and their futures are shaped by the harsh conditions of Guantanamo. One young man, Abdul, was just 15 when he was taken to Guantanamo. He was held without trial, never given the chance to defend himself. "I was a child," Abdul said, reflecting on his time there. "But no one cared. I was treated like an enemy." Guantanamo's treatment of detainees has drawn widespread criticism from human rights organizations worldwide, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch. These groups have condemned the U.S. for using torture, unlawful detention, and for holding prisoners indefinitely without trial. Despite years of protest and international pressure, Guantanamo remains open, and its legacy continues to tarnish the image of the United States globally. Governments and citizens alike have called for its closure, but Guantanamo's existence continues to be defended by political leaders who argue that it's necessary for the protection of national security. Over the years, numerous attempts have been made to close Guantanamo. The most notable came under President Barack Obama, who signed an executive order in 2009 to close the facility. However, his efforts were met with fierce opposition from Congress, and his plans were ultimately blocked. The political battle surrounding Guantanamo isn't just about whether it should be closed. It's about the larger fight over power, control, and the balance between security and freedom. Can a place like Guantanamo, built on a history of secrecy and human rights violations, ever be truly shut down? Or does its continued existence represent a failure to confront the dark truths of the past? As we reflect on the story of Guantanamo Bay, one question remains. What does Guantanamo truly represent? Is it a place designed to protect freedom? Or has it become a tool of oppression, a symbol of unaccountable power that undermines the very principles of justice it was supposed to uphold? Guantanamo's legacy is not just about the people who have been detained there. It's about the society that has allowed it to continue year after year. The world is watching, and so are we. Will we be satisfied with the status quo, or will we demand change and accountability for the actions taken in our name? Guantanamo Bay is more than just a prison. It represents a larger struggle for justice, freedom, and human rights. What are your thoughts on Guantanamo? Do you think it should be closed, or is it still needed for security? Share your opinion in the comments below. And if you feel that pull to keep searching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a step in our journey to uncover what still hides on this earth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.